thanks again for tuning in to another episode of Spartan Outdoors TV. Coming at you with a really great recipe here today. I'm going to be showing you how to make my sweet and spicy teriyaki venison jerky. And yeah, it stores forever. It's really delicious. You get all kinds of flavor, and I think you're really going to enjoy this. So stay tuned, and we're going to get into this recipe. Okay, so there's a lot of different cuts off of a deer that's suitable for jerky meat. The ideal pieces for me are like the top round and the bottom round off the hams, off the back legs of the deer. They just give nice, long slices. It's a bigger piece of meat. Today I'm using backstrap. That's all I have left on me. And all I'm going to do is just start out by squaring off the ends. Just going to make them nice and square so we can cut good jerky strips. So once your meat is like this, you just want to slice it up very, very thinly. And to help with this, you want to leave it about half frozen. As you can see, this is, it's frozen, but it's got some give to it. And that's the perfect way, perfect temperature to be slicing your meat at for jerky. Helps you get it really thin. You can see right there, nice, paper thin, and that's going to turn into a great piece of jerky in no time. So we're just going to slice this up and then get to the marinade. So before we get into the marinade, I just wanted to show you this real quick. I was using half of one deer backstrap, and just because I cut it half frozen, I was able to get almost 40 slices of jerky out of it. So, I mean, as you can see, it's a quick tip, but it's really important. Slice this stuff half frozen. You're going to be glad you did. You get really nice and even pieces, and I got almost 40 pieces of jerky just out of that one backstrap, maybe 9 inches. Okay, so admittedly, I don't really measure anything when I make my jerky. It always turns out really, really well, though. Starting off with some teriyaki marinade, the liquid stuff, maybe about a third of a cup. Just going to give it about a tablespoon or two of soy sauce. There's already plenty of sodium in the teriyaki, but just a little bit extra. Quick shot of Worcestershire sauce. Sriracha, very important. You can also add like red pepper flake, but I think this really combines well with the soy and the teriyaki. I mean, the sriracha is definitely the way to go. So at least a tablespoon of sriracha. Black pepper, coarse ground. I find that the coarse ground kind of sticks better on the meat and provides like a nicer final dried product. You can really see those coarse pieces of black pepper on there. Decent amount, just add it to taste. And then garlic powder, not too much, just maybe a couple teaspoons. This is totally optional, but sometimes I like to add sweet chili sauce. Today I've got P.F. Chang's Mongolian beef sauce. What else? Honey. You can add honey right now, but I'm just going to add another sweet component. This stuff's pretty thick, so if you have to use a little water to even everything out, that's totally fine. But yeah, this is our marinade. We're literally just going to take a whisk this up a little bit. You want to make sure if you're using honey or a sugary sauce like that you really get this fully blended together. You don't want chunks of that sugar kind of getting stuck together on the meat or getting stuck in the food dehydrator. Alright, so there's our sauce. It smells amazing. It's nice and rich, sweet and spicy, and we're going to get to the next step. Okay, so the way I do this is really, really quick. I don't marinate it that long. I used to be that guy that marinated my jerky for like 12, even 24 hours. And I don't know, I feel like I get the same exact product whether I do it for 5 or 10 minutes or even just a few seconds. So I'm going to show you my no marinade, quick dip jerky process here. I'm using a food dehydrator. This is like a Walmart brand one, 40 bucks. They're not expensive. You can do it in the oven as well. Just put them on a rack and keep the oven slightly ajar at like 120 degrees. But anyway, let me show you how I just do this quick dip jerky process. Literally just take a piece of meat, one of the slices, dip it in that sauce we have, right off the edge of the bowl, and then put it right onto the dehydrator tray. And I don't know, if you're slicing it thin enough, I've found this is plenty of time to marinate. There's plenty of flavor. It's not gamey or anything. And if anything, it's almost too salty if you let it sit overnight, and it kind of starts to really permeate the meat and break it down. So here you still have that nice bite of the fresh meat. Alright, so we're just going to repeat this process until we've got our trays filled up. Okay, so literally all I'm doing is just taking a slice of meat, dredging it in that sauce, almost like we're going to fry something, and then just putting it right on the tray. It's going to get a little messy, but you know, it's all plastic. Stuff washes up really easily. And you can see how quick that is. Yeah, just going to get that little glaze on there. Okay, we've got our nice strips of jerky here. Got the nice glaze sticking onto them. We're just going to literally plug in the dehydrator and let it do the work. Now, if you've used a dehydrator before, you know that the bottom tray is cooking the fastest because, you know, the fan on the bottom there. And so every 45 minutes or so, I will rotate the trays one step. So the bottom tray will come up to the top, and you know, so on. So literally, all you gotta do is plug this baby in. It's once it turns on like that, it's instantly starting to dehydrate. I'm gonna check on these in about 45 minutes, and yeah, just go from there. With meat this thin, I don't think it'll take more than about 4 or 5 hours to fully dehydrate and become jerky that's ready to eat, ready to freeze, and enjoy. So we're at about the 4.5 hour mark here. The very last tray of deer jerky here is finished in this dehydrator. And as I mentioned before, about every 40 to 45 minutes, just came over and checked on them, you know, gave them a little bit of a feel. And then I also switched the bottom rack up to the top, and vice versa, just kind of switching so one tray is not always next to the fan on the bottom. And yeah, you know, you want a nice bendable jerky, but you don't want it to break hard like a stick or anything like that. So there's just perfect amount of moisture retention, and there you go, a nice plate of jerky, perfect to, you know, throw in a freezer bag and save for maybe a hiking trip or the summer, maybe even, you know, next year's hunting season. And yeah, this is an awesome recipe. You really don't have to marinate as long as you think. This stuff has plenty of seasoning on it. They're sweet, they're salty, there's that spiciness from the sriracha. And yeah, please give this a try. If you enjoyed this video, throw me a like down below, leave a comment if you want to see something different. And yeah, thanks for tuning in again, guys. Spartan Outdoors TV, and take care until next time.